Hi guys, good afternoon. Today we are going to be talking about AI, job security, and then the gig economy. So I'm going to leave it to my guests to introduce themselves, then we'll kickstart the conversation. So I'll start with my ladies first.
Okay, hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Akosia Say. I'm the founder for Be Tech Connected. So basically we are bridging the knowledge and skill gap between academia and industry. We do that through training, mentorship, personal development, name it. Yes, and then we connect our community members to job opportunities. But our focus is the technology industry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Akosia. And on to Akosia's right, we have...
My name is Isaac Kofimafu. I'm the Executive Director of Bulk SMS Ghana, and then Managing Partner DigiTransacts. Basically, what these companies do is to create applications. We are into bulk SMS, and then we conduct AI training, and then we develop chatbots for organizations. Organizations that can also give us their data to train, to produce chatbots for them, So basically, that's what we do, and we consult in AI.
Okay, that's impressive. Thank you very much, Mr. Isaac. My last gentleman.
Yeah, so my name is Vincent Nlekiba. I'm the founder and CEO of Cribly. And Cribly is a freelance marketplace that is all about Africa and Ghana, promoting Ghanaian creativity to the global, to globally, So we are based in Takoradi, here in Ghana. We are based in Takoradi, and we want to get many people on board. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So like you can see, we have experts who can tell us about AI, job security, and the gig economy. So I'm going to start with my first question. Mr. Isaac, you spoke about your company teaching people about AI. So I want to ask this question. If I want to explain AI to maybe a child of like 5 years, 10 years, how would you explain AI to that kid?
Well, as the name suggests, you're talking about something that is artificial. So humans have our own intelligence. We think, we decide, we do this. In this particular case, it's machines that are performing what humans are supposed to perform. That's why the term artificial intelligence. So it's intelligence, but it's intelligence that is artificial. Machines performing what humans are supposed to perform. That's all.
All right. Okay. I think this one, a 3-year-old kid can understand. Akosia, would you want to add something to it?
So disclaimer, I'm not an expert in AI. Before someone comes after me. And let me also say that it feels good to be on the other side because I'm always moderating. So it feels so good to be asked questions now. So just as our Mr. said, it's artificial intelligence, basically leveraging machines to behave like humans. That's how I want to put it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how about you?
Yeah, so I don't have anything to say, but I would say that in the gig economy, for instance, we will need a lot of AI in the system because the world is just evolving into a more technical one. And yeah.
Okay, so since you mentioned gig economy, can you please tell us a bit about what you mean by gig economy? What does it really entail? We've been hearing the word gig economy. What is it actually?
So the gig economy is like an ecosystem where platforms provide certain services for people to come on. So the gig economy is very wide. We have platforms like Bolt, we have Uber, we have Yango, all those platforms. They all come into the gig economy. And the other aspect of it is where the freelance come into play. Yeah, so we know how difficult it is to secure jobs in Ghana, in Africa, because we know that we have so much creativity, we have so much talent in the country, but usually it's very difficult for this creativity to get outside, the borders. And creating platforms like this for African talents to come on is very important because usually most of the Africans that we have that are on the global platforms, they don't get credibility, when they get hired and all that. So, yeah.
Okay, so Akosi, I'm going to throw this at you. Since you also work in like that industry, you also work around that. What would you also add on the conversation of what the gig economy is?
So I love what he said, talent. So I would say talent without borders. And I'm saying this because I happen to work with a company called Aya, I think in 2021 or 2. It's a fully remote company, but now they have like physical presence in some countries. And basically we were trying to connect Web3 talents to opportunities. So we have Web3 talents working for companies, but in the Web3 space. And one of our tagline was talent beyond borders. And because we were looking to help Africans to export their talent to the global market through jobs. So we had talent in Nigeria working with companies in the US, working companies across globally. Yeah. So I would say talent without borders, yes.
Okay. So I think now we've gotten to understand what AI is, what the gig economy is. So I'm going to throw this question to you, Mr. Isaac, first. So we've seen that there's been increase in AI. It's helping us automate a lot of the tasks we do. So now people feel like they don't need other maybe talents to get the job done. How do you think this is affecting people's job security in our current situation or in this generation?
When you go around, you hear people saying, this morning I mentioned that AI is going to take our jobs. AI is going to take our jobs. That's not the point. It's people who learn how to use the AI who are going to take jobs. Yeah. According to the IMF, by 2027, if care is not taken, 40% of individuals who don't have skill will lose their jobs. People assume that, I've asked the AI A and it's giving me answer B. So that is it. Answers will vary depending on how well individuals are versed in AI. Yeah. You remember recently, now I don't even know the difference between WAEC and BEC and there are exams. Some kids, I think, got the questions. And then they went and asked AI for the answers. For some of them, they ask the question and then the AI gives them the feedback. I don't understand this question. And because they are not smart enough, they wrote down those as answers. You get my point. Their papers were eventually cancelled.
Oh my days.
So if you don't know what you are doing, whatever comes, you take it. Yeah. But if I know that, no, this is not right, you might re-ask the question, you might iterate and get different kinds of things. So whatever it is, the AI, people are assuming that it's going to do everything for us. No, it will produce something. But if you don't know what you're doing, because it hallucinates sometimes, you know.
So do you think prompt engineering is a skill people should pick up as part of their technical skills these days?
Everyone needs to know about prompt engineering. Yeah. You know, if you ask a general question, you get a general answer. That's what we say, garbage in, garbage out. Yes. And for prompt engineering, you know, we have the medical field, we have the agric field, we have this. You should be able to know that this prompt is engineered in this direction. In fact, in my case, I don't use prompts too much. What I do is that if it's something related to agriculture, I create what we call custom instructions. So every question related to agric, because the custom instructions are geared towards the agric field, all your answers are agric related, they're specific. Yeah. If it's the medical field, that. So I've developed over 100. If you go to ChatGPT and go to your stop and you put my name there, it will produce over 100 apps that I've created with custom instructions. Wow. Yeah. So it needs to be specific. You need to get for specific things. Yeah.
Okay, I think you've answered the question, but I'm just going to add this to it and then I'll leave it to Akosi.
Can I add up?
Sure, you can.
So I want to mention that tech is an enabler. So the whole AI machine learning thing is to just aid our work. So to those who think AI is coming to take your job, I think it's coming to make your job better.
Okay.
So it's up to you, the individual, to sit down and say, how can I use AI in my field of work? So usually when we are helping young people break into tech, most of them come and say, Akosi, I can't code, I can't do graphic design, but I ask, what's your interest? Can you speak? What can you do in tech that involves your talent?
Yes.
Then we help you find your path. So it's not really strange. I think people think technology is so huge, something abstract, but I've come to understand that it's just there to help you. So whatever you are doing now that probably you feel like you're not in tech, just assess yourself. What talents do I have? What do I do? How can I leverage technology to make it better? For instance, before, people didn't have to sit behind speakers to speak like this because those inventions or innovations were not there. But now we have that. So I can be outside Ghana and still listen to Discourse channel because there are technology or there are innovations that have made it possible. So basically, look at what you are doing now in your space that you can leverage technology, because up until you leverage it, you might think that you are handicapped or you are losing out. Yeah.
Let me also add something.
All right, sure.
Yeah, so I also believe strongly that this AI thing is going to really help us in so many ways, because, we used to say that YouTube is a university where you can learn everything. Yes, personally, I learned most of the things that I know now on YouTube, and now AI like ChatGPT and all that has come to make everything very, very easy, because I would not have to go to YouTube to watch plenty videos and all that. I just give a prompt and the senior man said, you just have to be specific and know exactly what you are looking for. And everything is learnable. You don't need to have a talent or skill. Exactly. Once you set your mind to learn, you can actually learn it. Yeah.
And the AI things are changing by the hour.
Yeah.
By the hour. So you need to be on top of things.
Updated.
Right.
It's like almost every hour something changes.
Yes.
I don't know if you've tried the new voice, the new.
Yeah, I haven't tried the app.
Yeah, I think last week it was.
Yeah, I saw the videos.
It's so amazing. You might think you are talking to a human.
Yeah, it speaks pidgin. Ghanaian pidgin, Nigerian pidgin.
Interesting.
Yeah.
In fact, I was having a conversation with it when my son passed by and said something in Chi, and then it switched to Chi.
Interesting.
Just that the Chi was Obroni. But that's how far we've gone. I was having a conversation with a Frenchman, and I said, well, I can't speak French. The person I'm having the conversation with can't speak English. What I want you to do is to translate when I speak the English into French and when he speaks it. And it did it for almost 30 minutes. Wow. The conversation was just going like that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Wow.
I'm yet to try it. I've seen videos about it. I was actually fascinated by the pidgin. It's able to differentiate between Ghanaian pidgin, Nigerian pidgin.
Yes.
I think it's so smart.
Even Google has also brought its voice, I think about 2 days ago. Wow. And it's free, so you can try that as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I think still on AI and jobs, how do you think AI is now changing like the types of jobs available now? You've realized that maybe in this decade or like maybe 5 years ago, there are certain jobs, like certain job roles or job titles that were common. But now, do you think AI is changing the kind of jobs that are being posted, that come out now, or some roles that are being posted by companies that they need? What do you think is AI doing that? I don't know who would want to start. Right?
So what I think is that for the field of graphic design, for instance, they always say that, AI has come to take over graphic designers' job and all that. But, graphic design is wide. It's not just what people think it is. Yeah. People think, for instance, a logo design, creating a brand is not just about a logo. You need to create the whole brand identity and all that. And I don't know, maybe the subsequent technology that will come with AI can do that, but I don't know. But maybe the current AI trends that we have now, I'm not sure they can design a whole brand identity with the logo, with the color palette and all that. I don't know, but
Actually, there are AI tools that do exactly that.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to add to it. So I recently had a client. I'm also a designer.
okay.
I had a client that wanted us to design something, and I just put a prompt into ChatGPT-4 to give me ideas of some logos ideas. I think it was for a mental health app.
Okay.
And so I needed to do the UI and also do the logo. So I felt like it was going to be tedious to spend weeks doing like research, thinking about like, So I just put some ideas into ChatGPT. It generated a lot of like logo design. So all I had to do was I showed it to the clients. I just picked one, put it in Illustrator and made the changes to tweak it. So I think for design, it is helping us, but it's not doing it exactly as I would want to do it as a designer.
Yeah.
But it saves me probably weeks of work for me to finish in probably like just a week and then get my money paid. So I think that's what I just wanted to add to that.
In fact, even within ChatGPT, they brought out something people don't really, I don't know if it's for those of us who are paid users too. Once the image comes, you can pick a particular section and ask it to add something or remove something. And so at a point in time, all these things will, but there are other tools that people don't know that do exactly that. And now even with the ChatGPT 4.0, we've gone past that. Few people know that. Last week, the paid users were given an opportunity to use 01.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
And 01 reasons. So what we've been using all along is a high school level. What they are saying is that the 01, even as now it's a preview, but they're saying that is a PhD level one. Because now it reasons before it comes out.
Okay, no wonder now when it's loading to be telling you thinking.
Yeah, memory updated and all.
Thinking
if you are using the 01,
So with the generative AI, like ChatGPT, I don't know, is it able to generate PSD files for Photoshop, for instance?
No, they are just PNG files.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. So sometimes when you have a client who, hires you to do something, they want you to give them their entire project in PSD files and all that.
But there are other AI tools other than ChatGPT that does that.
Okay.
I mean, I think ChatGPT is overhyped. Okay. Sincerely, I think ChatGPT is overhyped.
Claude does things that ChatGPT is not doing now.
Yes.
Okay. Claude builds full stack applications, that you can preview and do a whole lot of other stuff. There are a lot of tools.
And I wanted to add that currently we have people working as AI integration specialists. I mean, I always like to give my friends shout outs, but I have a friend called Rashida Musa. You can check her out. She works with companies just to help them as to how they can incorporate AI into their operations.
Okay.
So that's a typical example of someone who has created a niche and is going to take your job from you. Because now, if he comes into your company, she can tell the CEO that you don't need this stuff.
Yeah.
We have a tool that can do the job.
Okay.
And companies are always looking at how to cut down costs. So if there's somebody who has created a niche, you should be scared.
Yeah.
Because so now the question you should ask yourself is, how do I make AI better?
Okay.
So in my workplace, our CBO has a very high, what's the word? He pays highly attention to details. So he can easily tell if you've used AI to write something for him. Literally, you tell that this is from AI, I don't like it. Go and change it. Because ChatGPT has been abused. So the filler words are so common. There are certain things you see now, you know that chats. Recently, a colleague shared something like, Charlie, we all do chats now, And she was like, yeah, use chats because we use it and we know them.
Yeah.
But you see,
familiar with the words.
You see,
exactly.
What I do along what you said is that I've created a tool.
Okay.
So once whatever is generated has been generated, I input it there. And then it converts the whole thing to English that's like written by a 15, 16-year-old. Then it intentionally makes slight mistakes. If you take it into anything, it says 100% human.
But it's also AI.
Yeah.
It's AI.
I also use Quillbot to paraphrase, like rephrase
Still,
it.
maybe we're cool, but now if you take it somewhere, it will get you. Now that it's advanced,
So I think AI has come to help us, but for those who are not willing to reinvent themselves, it'll be a challenge. Because a time will come, I feel like editors will not be needed. That's the truth.
For the past 2 months, what I've done for certain organizations is you tell me what you need. I want the AI to be I want it to be my personal assistant. What do personal assistants do? So I create custom instructions, create a chatbot, and then integrate it into your Telegram. So as you walk around, you can be communicating with it as your personal assistant. So for me, it drafts my letters. It does everything for me.
That's how serious
yes, my knowledge base is all infused. And I've done it for people in the academia, and that's the level we are going.
But I think the hack is that for some roles that involves highly human intellect or human interactions, AI can aid, but not completely.
You need to work on whatever it produces for you.
An example is sales. I'm in sales, so I can speak. AI can never take over sales. It can aid in sales because sales has to do with emotions. And if you are people-facing, you don't need an AI to people-facing. To talk to people. You need to hone your skills to be able to convince people to buy your stuff. So AI can help in other aspects of sales, but it will not take over sales completely. That's my view. And I'm saying that because I've had to do a bit of research because, again, when you are in tech or you work in an industry where every time there's a new invention, innovation, you have to pay attention to what can take over my job. So questions I ask myself is I do BD and sales. Tomorrow, if I wake up, can I still make money from BD? Or someone say, I don't need you because I'm doing AI. So those are the questions I ask myself. And I've realized that, well, for my space, I have control somehow because I know that it takes a lot to get someone to buy. Regardless of, I've had to do, in terms of technology sales, I deal with external clients. Outside Ghana and all that. And you don't see them to convince them. But AI aids us with maybe through communication and all that, how we can put together our messaging. But then there's a lot of thinking because I'm trying to convince person A to buy from me. And here's the case that there's no physical interaction for me to convince you. So you might be in a bad mood and I've sent you a cold email and you shut it. You shut it down because you're upset. But I have to think and put myself in the shoes of different personas and say, if person A is looking to get this gadget, how do I think like person A? And that I feel like AI cannot do to an extent. So that's something we can also pay attention to in your various fields. How does AI come to aid your work or take over? If you see that maybe 2 years to come as an editor, you wouldn't be needed, then you get another skill to top up. So when it's catching up, you know that you are prepared for the next phase of artificial intelligence. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if I get you correctly, but I think yesterday, during the opening ceremony, they introduced a robot, Cello. Yes. Developed by Mingo Blocks and all that. Yes. And it seemed to have so much potential in the near future. So I don't know if...
So what's your question or what's your add-on?
So my question is that, don't you think that can take over
I don't think
sales?
I don't think they have the emotions like she said.
Exactly.
To be able to do what she does.
Sales is highly...
But let's probably...
Like maybe in the next...
In terms of emotion...
And it's not even about emotions per se. The whatever you are talking about, Cello or something. Again, we are a global ecosystem. So Cello is now in Ghana. Not to say Cello will not go outside Ghana, but globally as a talent, that's why I tell my team members, as a talent, do you think you're a global asset or you're a Ghana asset?
Okay.
If you're a Ghana asset, you should be scared of Cello.
Yeah.
If you're a global asset, hone your skills to be a global asset.
Okay.
So tomorrow, if I go to Spain and they have another invention, because over time, I've been preparing to be a global asset, I should be able to reinvent myself or adapt.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to pay attention to.
Okay. So you're talking based on local...
No, so I'm talking generally that there are certain skills that I feel like AI will aid, but not take over completely.
Okay.
But there are certain spaces that it looks like AI will weed out.
Okay.
Because we have so many tools available now that we don't even need those people. What I sometimes do is when I put together a copy, I put it in ChatGPT and say, edit. Or what do you think? I don't talk to probably somebody else. But before, I might send it to an A4 and say that, please, can you go over and proofread for me? But now there are tools. So I don't have to go to an A4 or Rita to say, can you do that for me? I'll do it with AI. So for that, I can say 5 years to 10 years to come, we might not need an editor or a proofreader because these tools are coming to make the work easy. Yeah.
And let me give you an example. Right now, people are not accepting a whole lot of the things that are happening. When we were in secondary school,
can you give us like maybe probably a year range?
Most of you were not born. I left Prempeh College I left Prempeh College in 88, so I don't know whether
I wasn't born.
Yeah, we're not there.
Those days we were not allowed to use calculators.
Wow.
So what if you're doing elective math?
No, but me, I'm a science student.
Serious brainwork.
And we were not allowed to use calculators. Now calculators are nothing. So people are saying AI. If you bring this and it's AI, no. What's going to happen is that now your lecturer or whoever will read through and make sure you actually took, although you use the AI, you actually took your time and then worked on whatever you brought. Despite the fact that you used the AI. Right. It will be accepted. But now, because it's new, anything new that comes in, people feel it's coming to do this. Right. But now you take a calculator that doesn't even help you.
That's true.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think Akosua made a point about you thinking to be like a global talent or just a Ghana talent. I have been privileged to work with an international team. So I work with an international company. And I think when I joined the team, I realized that, okay, there were so many things that is happening outside Ghana that we African talents or Ghanaian talents don't have access to.
Right.
And I feel like we are way behind as like catching up to like what other people are doing in other countries. Even other African countries, some are some advanced and some too are still behind. And so how do you think with how AI is changing things, other workforces are advancing in their countries? How do you think education and reskilling in our community, starting from probably Ghana, can help us also catch up to global talent? Because I read an article or a report recently that was saying how now companies that used to come to Africa to employ people are no longer coming for African talents because they feel we are no longer up to the standard they want. So how do you think we can be able to educate ourselves, reskill ourselves to get to that point where we can still be part of the global market?
Reskilling is very important. Like when I started, I mentioned it, that it is those who reskill who are going to survive what's happening. In the industrial age, a lot of people were complaining, the machines are coming to take our jobs. But those who reskilled were able to use the machines to work.
Right.
The same is going to happen.
Yes.
We need to reskill. I had a conversation with a driver, and he said, for us, we will always be driving. And I showed him a video of the Uber cars that are, you order, it comes, you sit in, there's no driver. And then it goes, and they say, hey, then I won't. So, reskilling, for now, everyone needs to reskill.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone. I think we are afraid of new things.
Yeah.
That's our problem.
Yeah.
But whether we like it or not, that is the direction.
Continue to change.
And we need to move in that direction.
So just adding a bit to the question, I feel like we are reskilling. Those are for people who are already in the industry.
Right.
How about people that are coming from education into the industry? Don't you think there's something that needs to be done about how education is, like our educational system or education is being churned out now?
This question is it's passionate to me from my heart, because that's what we do. So I think before this question, to add up to what Sir was saying, I think we should stop complaining about our educational system because we all know we are screwed. Like, it's not helping us. And it's so obvious. Yeah. So it's high time we stop talking about the fact that GS has to do something. It's high time you take your personal development serious. Like, forget about I'm doing biochem, I'm doing chemistry. I mean, I'm not saying drop out of school, but on the side, ask yourself, what am I, like, whatever I'm studying, when I come out of school, would I get a job for it? I did biochem in school, serious science, combined biochemistry, cell, and molecular biology. Serious science. But I haven't used my sets because it's not relevant to me. My colleagues are doctors.
I did agree.
I mean, to me, I'm saying to me because I have my colleagues like doctors, scientists, and all that. But it wasn't for me because after school, I realized that, I mean, I'm not in for that. So if you are in school now and whatever you are studying, one, you don't even like it.
Yeah.
What's the probability that when you come out of school, you'd even use it? Yeah. So the question you should ask yourself is, what can I do in school that can serve me when I'm out of school? In the morning when we're having the conversation, Frida made a point that one of the questions I asked them is, what would you tell your younger self? And she said you should be open to change and take initiatives. And that's so true because usually when we are growing up, it's like life is set for us. From primary, you know you're going to secondary, mommy, father is there to pay fees. You go university, you know you don't have to think, they'll pay for you. But the moment you are done with school, they see you to be matured. Yeah. So now it's all about, okay, NSS Wayne. After that, what are you doing? When you're Juma, you realize that they don't really pay attention to, I'm giving you money. It's probably they looking for opportunities for you or they pushing you that you have to go out and look for a job. So after school, mother, father has ended. Now the question is, what have I done with my life that can serve me after school? And that's where skills come in. We have people in our community that are into, like they are doing amazing courses, but they are learning tech skills. Yeah. Because they've come to see that my certificates or grades might not get me may not get me a job after school. But when I learn a skill like graphic design, I mean, I have a talent, is a mentee. This guy is in level 300 and he earns $1,000 a month working with a Web3 company. Not, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I always use him as a reference because this is a young guy so hungry for change. And this guy travels because he's in a niche where the opportunities come. And because our youth are not hungry, there's no competition. So the moment you set yourself apart, you become the catch. So that's some of the questions our university students have to pay attention to. One of the things we did when we started Be Tech Connected was to talk to founders and talk to students and ask founders, what are our students lacking? And it was so sad that they mentioned that some of them cannot even send emails. Some of them cannot write minutes.
MS.
Some of them do not even know what LinkedIn is. Some of them cannot even put together like basic stuff that
you're talking about. Some of them.
And most of them, that's true, because there are so many university students that don't know about LinkedIn.
It's only the private universities that force the students to create LinkedIn accounts.
Yes.
The general public universities.
And these were concerns.
Microsoft Office.
Yes, they don't know. Yeah. These were concerns that they raised. And because I'm so passionate about young people, maybe someone might think I'm old, please, I'm still in my 20s, but I'm so passionate about young people because I feel like there's so much opportunities for us, but we don't see it because our system doesn't allow us to see it. Yeah. So when we did those, surveys and all that, we realized there's a problem. So we started talking to the students as well. And we realized in school, what they learn, it's not, they are learning what is a cockroach. They are drawing cockroaches, labeling them. Let's be serious here. When you come out of school, no one will tell you to do that. Say, have you asked someone in your company to draw a cockroach?
A gamma lizard.
That's how serious is it. Yeah. And it's not like GS, they don't know about it. Yeah. But what are they doing? No.
Yeah.
So it's high time we stop shifting blames and now take ownership of your life. Yeah. Own your life. Sit down and say, I want to learn a tech skill. You don't have to go so wild. Go at your pace. You're still in school. If it's your weekends, you can join. And there are so many tech opportunities and communities now helping young people. And it's even free because we have MasterCard funding. Yeah. We have ALX. We have Generation Now. Be Tech Connected. Very soon we'll roll out our projects. But we have so many resources now that as a young person, you can equally get access. All you need is your phone. Have people So last year we did an event and we recruited a Nigerian, and this guy is like 21. This guy was doing designs for, those of us who saw are creatives.
Yeah.
Ask me what this guy uses. A phone.
Yeah.
You'll never believe
Canva.
Your designer using a phone.
it. A phone.
Yeah.
Rita.
There are a lot of designers who are using their phones. Yeah.
And he shared his challenges with me that he doesn't have money for a laptop. Home is not so good. Yeah. But he saw that he has a smartphone, so he can start from there. Yeah. And this guy is so good because anytime our ads goes out, people ask, like, who is your designer? I had to hide him because I don't want him to be watched. But this is someone who is so young. Nigerians are suffering. Like, if you go to Nigeria, you go to Lagos, mainland, Ghana, we are joking. Like, people are literally fighting for their lives because there are no opportunities. So you see Nigerians so hungry.
But they're hungry for everything.
They're hungry for everything.
I remember on a flight from Lagos to Benin City, even for the plane, they were rushing like trotro. Why should I be
it will be so new to you. Like, what is happening here?
It's so wild. So I think we can start by focusing on how we can own our process and now stop shifting blames because it's so obvious the government has screwed us. Yeah. We know that.
Yeah.
So how can we help ourselves? So whenever I see organizations like that of ATW trying to help young people, I'm happy to collaborate because the problem is huge. It won't take just BTech Connected to do. It won't take just ATW, neither ALX. Yeah. It's a global issue when it comes to unemployment, underrepresentation of youth and all that. So we have to take ownership of our lives by learning the skills ourselves and stop saying that my school, they don't teach me. No, you don't need your school.
And you see, for some of us, we even sometimes do most of the things we do for free.
Yes.
Because I've been training GT Vets, the headquarters. Whatever I've done so far for the past 2 years, free. Complementary education unit, free. So once people are ready to learn, they'll get the opportunity.
They'll get it.
Yeah, this is where the gig economy thing comes in. You see, I believe that there are so many people there, like we have discussed, who have this great talent, but just how to get out for people to know them. Like it's high time we switch from this traditional way of education and you have to do this and do that and do that. We have people who have, me for instance, I when I got to the university, I was studying engineering, construction engineering. But right now, I'm not using that. I'm not working in the engineering field. I didn't have I can't say I had a talent in tech or graphic design or all these things. I didn't have it. I just had to learn it. I just got inspired by people who are already in the field and I just learned it. And I feel like there are so many other people like that who are out there who need to come out for people to get to know them. And like that's why we created this platform, because most of the time people rather want to look up to the global platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. You see, on Fiverr or Upwork, the competition there is very great.
Yeah.
And as an African talent or African creative, to get out and people, to attract client is very difficult. Even though you have the talent, you have the skills, you can deliver like professional things. But, because of the competition there, it is very, very difficult for people to come out. When you type on Fiverr, when you type a logo design, you get more than 20,000 search results.
Yes.
And you as an African, a Ghanaian freelancer or like a graphic designer, how would they get in touch with you? So I got inspired with all these contents and I said, why don't we create something that is Ghana or African based so that we can streamline all our freelancing, stuff along that line instead of depending on, all this Fiverr and Upwork. So this platform is called Cribly. Okay. Yes.
So we all need to encourage him and support him.
Is it live?
Yeah, it's live.
Awesome.
It's live. Yes. So it's called Cribly. So it's basically like Fiverr. So we can say maybe the Ghana Fiverr. Everything on Fiverr, it's on Cribly. Yeah. So the freelancers, the employers, they connect, they work, and all that. So I think we should really look at this. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So thank you for all the wonderful insights. Unfortunately, we would have to wrap up. I wish we could say more. So I'm just going to let you say your last words. Probably we would have this conversation in depth in our studio sometime. Okay. So I'm just going to start with Vincent. So give me your last words based on the conversation we've had.
Yeah. So thank you. Once again, my name is Vincent Nlikiba. You can follow me on social media, LinkedIn and everywhere. Yeah, so what I'll say is that the world is moving very fast, and if you are not moving fast, the train will go and leave you. So with the massive rise of AI and all that, let's all, get ready to also, like Seth said, those who are creating the AI, they are the ones that the AI will not take their job. You see, so let's all do our best to, get on the train and be very current with the current trends that are going on. Yeah, thank you.
I'll move on to Akosia.
Okay, hi. So I want to say thank you so much for having me, Rita.
Thank you for joining us.
It's exciting to see more people doing things. But thank you for having me. My final words is please own your process and own your life, because even your parents do not owe you anything. Yes. And I say it on record because they've helped you to a point. So you need to help yourself. Yeah. So start by taking skills. Join communities. You can join Be Tech Connected. We're on socials. Be Tech Connected everywhere. You can follow us on Be Future of Work too as well. And please, yes, ask questions too. If you have to come for events like Ghana Digital Innovation Week and you get to connect with people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Isaac.
Well, I've really enjoyed our conversation. I wish we could go on and on and on and on.
We'll send you a special invite to the studio so that we can talk more.
Yeah, I hear. All I'll suggest is that, you see, I don't know whether it's the phones or whatever. During our time, we used to actually network. In business, in all these things that we are doing, it's all about networking. I think it's time our youth start networking. And that's one thing that's going to help them, to be a phone. And we should network. And then we shouldn't be scared of taking steps. These days, when I sit down and I think back, and I said, okay, after university, I was in the government sector. And then one day I got up and said, I'm going to start my own business and stuff. When I had a wife and 2 kids. Now, sometimes when I said, probably I was crazy then. We shouldn't be scared of taking certain steps because you'd never know where it might get you. By now, I probably would have been in some secondary school somewhere teaching, So we shouldn't be scared and we should upskill, whether we like it. If you don't upskill, you'll be left behind.
Right.
You'll be left behind. I remember when we did websites. I think I built my first website in 1998.
Interesting.
98. I was now being born.
Yes.
I have 2 boys.
Wow.
I have 2 boys. My eldest is 97. And then I think my last is 2002.
Wow.
He just finished KNUST. They both did computer science. And after the website, I said I saw a lot of opportunities back then. So I went around, I was in Kumasi then. I bought ashantimarket.com, went around the whole of Kumasi to map out all the shops, all the hotels, all the people. You go here and what do you mean? Well, now I left Ashanti Market. I think someone has it, and the person is making money. So when some idea comes in, people will say, "But what is this?" But it has a future. Stick to whatever you are doing. Once you have the conviction, and go ahead. Yeah. So that's my advice.
Just one more thing. Usually people find it difficult to spell the Cribly. So it's CRIBLIE. Okay. Yes. So it's Cribly. Follow us on social media. BLIE.
Okay.
Yeah, Cribly.com. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much, my guest. So do well to check out BTech Connect Cribly, and they are going to be with us on the Accra Talent Weekend on the 9th of November.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone.
9th of November.
Yes, it's a Saturday.
That's it.
Okay.
So-
Saturday, but the week before they will not be around.
We are looking forward to seeing all the speakers we have in this room on that
Okay.
day. So if you want to connect with them, pick their brains more on the things we've discussed today. Please do well to be at the Accra Talent Weekend. And thank you so much to my guest for making time. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Welcome. Bye.